Just going to wait a few moments and see where we are. I've got a sore throat today, so I have cough drop in my mouth. So say hi. Let me know you're here. Even if you're listening to the replay, hours from now, days from now, say hello. Let me know who's here. Hi, Shannon. Let me know what questions you have. I'm just putting some essential oils on, and now that I put it on, I hope it doesn't make me cough. Hi, Christine. Welcome, everyone. Okay. How's everyone doing today? Getting ready for holidays? Shannon, this subject is new. So this is one of the energies in body code, and of course I will talk more about that as we dive deeper. But let's see. Any questions that are coming up just in general, or any areas that you would like me to take a deeper dive into in future calls? I'm happy to do that. This is the last one for this year. And then I will schedule, at some point, I'll schedule a bunch of others for the first quarter of next year. So I hope everyone is doing all right. Let me first dive in with a couple of invitations. One of them is a free event called Growth Goals, and I'll put the link, the sign up link, in the comments after we close. This month in Growth Goals, this is a masterclass that I run with Jen Birchfield. This month we're talking about the somatics of goals and receiving your goals. So each month we do an exploration of a certain area of being able to call in your desires and meet your goals. And this is a free offer, and it's going to be held on the 21st, which is the solstice. And so I invite you into that. They're a lot of fun, and it's a great way for us to connect with all of you. The second thing is, if you're just hopping in, say hi, let me know you're here. The second thing is my solstice offer. Every year I do a winter solstice healing. There are different themes to it. This year we're going to be taking a really deep look into shadow and owning what is hiding, lurking in the shadows. And I walk you through how to do this in a really gentle, loving way. Hi, Jay. And the solstice is going to be, so that we're right in the middle of the 12/12 portal, and this is an opening of energy, an invitation for basically awakening. And ultimately that is what the winter solstice is all about. It is looking at the dark, the shadow, right on the shortest, darkest day of the year, so that you may step into more light, more awakening, higher frequencies in the year to come. So the solstice will also be held on the actual solstice, which is the 21st of December. And I will post a sign up link in the comments here as well. And if you're a reset member, you get a discount on that. So check your email for that. Okay, my dears, we're going to dive in. But I want to just keep saying, because there are people that are hopping on, to let me know your questions. And if there's something specific you want me to address in the next quarter, I will be doing that planning. This is my last call for this year, which is crazy. But what do you want to know about? I want to do one of these every 3 to 4 weeks is my goal for next year. So how can I support you in your awakening, in your growth, in your development of relationship with self? What sort of areas would you like to dive into? Okay. And I have a sore throat. That's why I am sounding funny, maybe. I'm going to open up body code And I just actually had to restart my phone because body code was frozen. I just checked it before I went live and I was like, that's interesting. So for those of you who have never seen body code before, this is what it looks like. When I first got certified, this was all on like my laptop. It was an application or maybe a website, I'm not even sure. And then in 2020, they turned it into an app, which at first I was like, oh, that's the last thing I need is more looking at my phone. But I have learned to love it because it goes everywhere with me and I can access all of this amazing wisdom. So what you're looking at is 6 different, they call them maps. And each one opens into a more specific map. So as you're muscle testing, getting down into the root cause of the energy that is, let's say, blocking or in the way of you moving forward in your life, there's over 1,000 different energies in this system alone. So we're muscle testing to get deeper and deeper, ultimately to the root cause of what is that source or what is that block. You discover through tapping on, I mean not tapping, but you once you get the yes, you tap on that particular area, and then we'll get to a will to. And when you get to will to or any root cause, it gives you a description. And then for many of these, there's also a chart. So we'll be able to get very specific for what is needed to clear. So I'm going to read this to you all, and then I see a couple questions coming in, and so we will go back and answer those. So will to and no will to energies are very similar. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Sarah. Okay, just wanted to say hi to you. Hadn't said hi yet. They're very specific energies and very related. So here's the explanation. It is possible to develop and trap a unique frequency of energy when one has a will to do something or a no will to do something, even if the desire is experienced temporarily. The energies in this category are problematic because they may influence thoughts, feelings, behaviors, relationships, as well as potentially preventing balance and healing in the physical body. And that's really true for any trapped energy. So I'll continue on. What one had the will to do in the past moment determines what kind of energy is developed. So then you use the chart to figure out exactly what that is. And so let's go ahead and first, does that make sense? Before I start clearing some for you all. So Christine says, when no will shows up, how do I know how to recognize them? After I'm better at spotting them, how can I discern what course to take? This really is a work with a practitioner type of energy. It's not something that you're going to notice on your own. I've never had somebody in the almost 5 years that I've been doing this recognize something like this on my own. I can't recognize it in myself. So when I'm doing a body code session for myself, for whatever reason, I wouldn't necessarily know that there is a no will to energy in my field or will to energy. And so this is more of understanding it when it comes up. Most often with these types of energies, and there's a handful of them that are, actually there's more than a handful, there's over 1,000 different energies in the app, that are like vague enough where you wouldn't quite get it, but you might know, like, you know what, I really have a problem with getting mad at my husband when he does X, Y, and Z. And underneath that awareness might be 40, 50, 60, 100 different energies that are contributing to that symptom that is on the surface that you're recognizing. But the way to clear them is just like you clear any other state, any other energy. You set the intention and you use a clearing statement. Now, not everybody can use a clearing statement because you haven't practiced it. But if you've worked with me enough and I've taught you how to use it, go for it. Give it a try. Um, you'll know that you need a certified practitioner when it doesn't seem to be working. And oftentimes there might be like black blocks or um, the way that it's shown to me is like there are like hurdles and pieces you have to move around before you get that original energy to clear out. So sometimes it's a very layered process that you need someone else to guide you through. And other times it's a very simple, I'm going to use the clearing statement and then it's gone. And I think Christine, you have shared that you have done that before and you've had success with it. So it certainly doesn't hurt to try. Okay, questions, thoughts about this, questions about anything um, with this specific energy. Jackie, is this a paid app? It absolutely is a paid app, and it's a pricey one because it's designed for practitioners. I think it's like $30 a month, and you certainly, I don't think they don't let people who aren't certified purchase it, but you wouldn't necessarily know how to navigate it unless you were certified. Um, you might be able to see some examples online, maybe. Or there might be like a free trial, so you could try it out for a week or something like that. Okay, my dears, I don't see any other questions coming in, so I'm going to take a moment and connect in. I want to invite you, if you are live right now or if you are just listening to the replay, to take a moment, say a silent prayer, giving permission for me to connect into your field and see if there are no will to or will to energies popping up that are ready to be released. Okay. So we'll start with will to energies. And we'll go through. I'm going to say this stuff out loud so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Is there a no? Is there a will to energy that is ready to be released for someone in our listening group today? Yes. Is it in column A? Yes. Is it in even row? Is it A1, A3, A5? Okay. So this is a will to be right. So are you somebody who always wants to be right? I mean, we all really want to be right in some ways, but do you find yourself in like relationship snags over being right? If so, this may be you. The other way you can know if it's you, even if you're like, well, it's not really me, because sometimes these energies may have a small impact on you and it may be contributing to a symptom that doesn't make sense to this, like, doesn't make sense at all. Dr. Brad Nelson, who created this um, whole model, says that anything can cause anything. So it's not always like a direct, it doesn't always like make direct sense. But if you sense in and you're like, yeah, that is me. I may not show it on the surface. I may not pick fights. I may not even, push my point, but you feel it in the gut. Like there's truth there. And for others, it's not. It's not yours. So here's how we clear. We delete, uncreate, and destory this will to be right energy. And we do that across all time, space, dimension, and reality, all the way to 0 point. Okay. Is there another will to? Yes. Column A. Column A. B3. This one's very related. This is a will to win energy. Um, I definitely have had this one in my field. Like if you've ever played a board game with me, my goodness, like I am, I like to win. Um, but I've softened over the years. So this is a will to win. Again, you should all have the desire to win at whatever it is that you want to win in life, but does it cause any sticky points? So we delete and create and destory this will to win energy. and anything in the way of that, delete, uncreate, and destroy across all time, space, dimension, reality, all the way to 0 point. Okay. Is there another one here? No. So now we'll go to no will to energies. Okay, so is there a no will to energy that is ready to be cleared from our listening audience? Is there? Column A. This is a no will to take responsibility. So where in your life are you failing to take responsibility for what you're being asked, right? Where are you blaming others, blaming your past or your childhood? Where would you really benefit from just taking responsibility, for owning it fully and completely, whatever it is? Okay, I'm going to clear at the very end. Is there another one? Column A. A no will to be powerful. No will to be powerful. And this can play out in lots of ways. Like a no will to own your own power really can go hand in hand with no will to take responsibility, right? Playing the victim. Being a victim is really an archetype. It's very dominant in our society, and we just sort of slip into it sometimes. Of course, you've probably been the victim at some point in your life too, because most of us have in some way, shape, or form. And so it becomes very familiar. It becomes a familiar energy. But when you do step into victimhood, you lose your power. So a no will to be powerful. For women, this can be like a defense mechanism, right? If we step into our power, we're often called certain names. We're labeled in certain ways. We're not liked by other women. There's lots of dynamics at play with that one. Is there another one? Okay. All right, so we'll clear those two. So we delete, uncreate, and destroy these two no will to energies. Take responsibility and be powerful. And we do that across all time, space, dimension, and reality, all the way to 0 point. Che, can you clarify what is what? Because I didn't see when you posted that. The last thing I'll say about these will to and no will to energies is, if you've ever noticed, and of course you have because you're human, that you have a tendency to self-sabotage. Like maybe you're moving towards a particular goal, and it can be as simple as like, wow, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds, or I'm gonna eat plant-based, or I'm gonna whatever it is, or it can be really big, right? I'm going to change my thinking patterns, which takes a long time to do. I'm going to move from being a negative thinker and thinking the worst of people to thinking the best of people and being positive, which is a real undertaking. One of the ways these energies will show up is in sabotage. Right? So you set your goal, you created a plan, you talk to your support people. This is what I'm doing. I need my people to support me. And then you find yourself slipping, sabotaging, engaging in the behavior that you no longer want to engage in, whatever it may be. That's often because there's a load of this type of energy kind of pushing you in that direction, because there's a negative response every time something like this comes into your field. Okay. So J, the no will to, I got it. Self-sabotage. Okay, awesome. All right, my dears. Other questions before we close? And if you're listening to the replay, you can pop questions in. I will come back and answer them if anything comes up. otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful holiday season and get to enjoy some downtime, some peace, some quiet, some ease in your life. And thank you for showing up live because it's always nice to talk to people when I'm here. I hope that these calls serve you, and we'll see you soon. You're so welcome.